This monster-looking person in front of you is not actually a human being. It is a mutant cockroach man from Mars. The man just said hello to it. The next second, the cockroach man came to them in an instant. It killed the man's girlfriend. The man hurriedly picked up his girlfriend on the ground. He shouted angrily at the cockroach man. But the cockroach man simply ignored him. In a flash, he disappeared again. The man looked at his girlfriend who was about to die in front of him. He was devastated. Man hurriedly asked the captain of the ship, "What's going on?" The captain told the man the truth. It turns out that 500 years ago, the Japan's population had exploded. Their tiny island was about to be overwhelmed. So the Japanese came up with a plan. They transported the cockroaches and moss from Earth to Mars. They wanted Mars to evolve an environment for human life. In the 500 years of Mars migration, the cockroaches evolved and reproduced on Mars. They slowly evolved to look like humans. After 500 years, the time has come. In order to destroy the cockroaches on Mars, the doctor, he gathered a group of uninformed ordinary people to fly to Mars to destroy the cockroaches. If you can destroy the cockroaches, you will get millions of dollars. When everyone arrived on Mars, they realized that it was all a scam. Here the cockroaches are not only tall and powerful, but also evolved to look like humans. They have superb fighting ability, but in order to deal with the cockroach man, the doctor has already edited the insect genes in everyone's body. As long as they are injected with a special agent, they will become super strong insect man. Just then, a cockroach found them. It came towards their ship. The captain hurriedly sent an insectoid out to fight the cockroachy man. Then the man came outside. He took out the potion he was carrying and injected it into his body. The next second, the drug began to take effect in the man's body. In the blink of an eye, he becomes a super insect man. The man used the energy inside him to release a flame to attack the cockroach man. A few moments later, the cockroach man collapsed in a sandstorm. But the next second, the man thought it was over. The hardy cockroach got up again. It punched the man and killed him directly. At this point, everyone in the ship was stunned. They didn't expect the cockroach man to be so strong. Before they could react, the cockroach man had climbed onto their ship. A great battle was about to begin. On the airship, a cockroach man slammed its head against the glass. Everyone in the cabin is terrified. At that moment, a female team member told everyone not to worry. This is the strongest tempered glass in Japan. But the next second, the cockroach man broke the glass with a violent impact and came into the cabin. At this point, all the team members were ready to fight. A teammate took out a potion and injected it into his body. Immediately afterwards, the drug started to take effect in the man's body. He became one with an ant. The powerful team members directly tore the cockroach man into pieces. But the danger didn't end there. Radar in the ship shows that there is a large group of cockroaches coming towards their ship. The ship is no longer able to fly after being crushed. For the sake of everyone's safety, 2 members of the team proposed that they stay behind to fight the cockroaches and let the others go back to Earth on another ship 5 kilometers away. At that moment, a large number of cockroaches had already climbed on board the ship. They jumped into the cabin. The crisis is imminent. One of the mutated crew members uses his energy to spew fire and drive the rover through the cockroaches to escape. On the other side, the 2 crew members left in the ship have been surrounded by cockroaches. In the face of the large number of cockroaches, they could not do anything about it. One of the crew members saw that the situation was bad. He entered the code and blocked the ship, then he exhausted the oxygen to the outside. The next second there was no oxygen. 2 team members and all the cockroaches were asphyxiated. At the same time, the other team members who were escaping were in danger again. They saw countless cockroaches in front of them piled up into a 100-meter-high wall towards them. Everyone was stunned. They were left to their fate and rushed into the cockroach swarm with more power. Fortunately, they were lucky enough to survive the cockroach attack. But before they could catch their breath, the second wave of cockroaches attacked them again. 2 female team members to save the day. They injected the potion into their bodies and mutated into strong insects to resist the cockroach attack. Although they were able to overcome the swarm of cockroaches, but also paid a heavy price. Their Mars rover was knocked over several hundred meters. All the team members fell to the ground and passed out. The sturdy rover was unharmed. The rover was put on autopilot towards its destination. Soon the rover took them to their destination. Just as the group was about to launch the ship to return to Earth, the terrible cockroach man was after them again. The man took off his shirt. The tattoos all over his back signified that he was no ordinary man. And the next second, the man was pierced by several bullets. It was not a human being who killed him. The opponent was a cockroach man from Mars. Cockroaches are not only muscular, their combat power is also amazingly terrible. At this moment, in order to destroy the cockroaches, the team member Dasan, he took out a bottle of potion and injected it into his body. The next moment, the drug began to take effect in Dasan's body, his forehead grew numerous eyes, then Dasan turned into a huge energy insect man. At that moment, the cockroaches also sensed the crisis. They took out their weapons and fired wildly at Dasan. But the speed of the bullets in the eyes of Dasan is as slow as ants. Then Dasan jumped and rose up in the air. One punch kills a cockroach man. Another member of the team saw that Dasan was having a good time. He also injected the potion and came to help. In a short time, a large group of cockroaches were all destroyed by them. But at that moment, a cockroach egg in the ship was about to break out of its shell. 2 cockroaches emerged from the egg. A team member who can control the insect's mind sees a bad situation. She rushed to use her skills to control the cockroaches. But she found that her powers were useless against the 2 cockroaches. These 2 cockroaches have evolved. The next second, the team was killed by the cockroaches. Then the 2 cockroach bosses with a large group of cockroaches found Dasan and the others. The cockroach boss gave an order. At the order of the cockroach boss, hundreds of cockroaches attacked Dasan. Dasan and the others hurriedly injected potions into their bodies. A melee ensued. The unevolved cockroaches were no match for Dasan and the others. One by one, the cockroaches were destroyed. But at that moment, the cockroach boss with the white dot on top of his head started to take action himself. It punched Dasan and knocked him back a few dozen meters. Dasan and the others were no match for the cockroach boss. In order to defeat the cockroach boss, Dasan continued to inject potions into his body to make himself stronger. After a fierce battle, countless cockroaches were destroyed. But in the face of the large number of cockroaches, Dasan and his team were already exhausted. At this moment, one of the team members, in order to destroy the cockroach boss, he injected the last potion into his body. This also means that he can't turn back into a human again. Although his teammates used his explosive power to destroy a cockroach boss, he also collapsed from exhaustion. Now Dasan is left alone to fight. Just as another cockroach boss was about to launch a final attack on Dasan, a glowing creature flew into the sky. It turns out that the butterfly is Dasan's girlfriend who was killed by the cockroach man before. The girlfriend crossed the sky over the cockroaches and glowing dust was scattered towards the ground. Dasan guessed that it was a dust explosion, but he was worried about his girlfriend's safety. So Dasan spread his wings and flew towards his girlfriend. He tried to stop her, just as Dasan was about to touch his girlfriend. The cockroaches on the ground were shooting at them. Then the dust met the sparks. There was a loud explosion. Luckily, Dasan was saved by his teammates on the ground who flew in time. He escaped death. And all the cockroaches on the ground are also destroyed by the fire. Shortly afterwards, Dasan woke up. He said goodbye to his teammates who were dying on the ground. Then Dasan went into the spaceship and prepared to leave Mars. Unexpectedly he found that there was still a teammate and the ship did not die. So the 2 men left Mars in the escape pod. And at this time just destroyed by the fire of those cockroaches actually unharmed. And that's it. The cockroaches watched Dasan, they left Mars. Finally the movie ends here. If this movie is a 10 out of 10, then I would like to give it 8.8 points.